Hello everyone, this is The Light with Lynn. I'm Lynn. My name's also Kayla. Lynn's my middle name, so call me whatever. I wanted to do a collective reading all about what we can do going into this year. What we can do to connect to like our most meaningful path, whatever that is. It doesn't need to be career, doesn't need to be family, doesn't need to be any one thing. It's how do we channel that? How do we nourish it? How do we let it flourish into our dreams and into our goals? And that's what I want to explore. It also ties in with why I started this channel. This is something I dream of and I want to explore. And tarot came into my life. I got my first deck when I was in 6th grade. I went to the mall and just found a deck and I was just so intrigued by it. This is the original deck and this is the box, and I got it when I was like in 6th grade or something like that. It's been around, and I think it's was it the 70s? Yeah, 71 was when this was printed. I didn't get it back then. I got it when definitely like, was it the 90s? I think it was maybe, it just got to 2000, I think. Yeah, anyways. So, but yeah, so I revisited tarot this past year because I got completely lost. I was completely entangled in my own suffering and my behaviors and my habits and my ways, and even just like the ways I was thinking I was stuck in. And I really couldn't find a way to push forward, and eventually got to the point where I suffered so much that I just had to surrender. And tarot was kind of the first thing I surrendered to in a spiritual sense. I did support this with journaling, with meditation, through cognitive behavioral therapy. You know, I approach most things from multiple angles, but tarot, I feel so attached to it emotionally. I feel so inspired by the messages it can give us during the times where we just like feel hopeless and helpless. And yeah, I think that's like a really beautiful thing. And I think that I have a great ability of reading the cards. I'm a visual artist, so I've been creative and using symbology my entire life. And so the visual aspect of tarot really does allow me to connect to the symbolism, and then maybe what that connects with emotionally, intuitively, whatever comes through from there. So even though I truly believe that there is room and a place for many approaches for self-development, tarot has become one of those that I'll reach for, and I love doing it for other people. I've read for family and friends over the last few months, and it's just, I'm always amazed at what comes out, like just with like the conversation, with how accurate, like a certain card will come out and you'll just be like, wow, like what are the chances of that? And it starts this dialogue, and it opens up a door in your own mind and your own heart to consider things that you haven't considered in a while, maybe, or a reminder that you might need. So that's how I approach tarot. That's what it means to me. And yeah, I would love to just start this first video off looking at what we can do to channel our highest path, our most meaningful and most purposeful path, and what will just like give us the year that we've been dreaming of inside, kind of waiting for. And it really isn't about waiting for it. It's about understanding what you can do in the now to take steps towards those long-term goals. So let's see what energetically, emotionally, we should be focusing on in order to achieve our goals for 2020 through our highest path. I don't want to come out. Also, I tried to set this up so the light wasn't too harsh, but this is kind of what I'm working with at the moment. If you hear me breathing deeply, it's because I really try to get into like a meditative state when I'm reading and pulling cards. So I feel like it's like cleanly going through me. Let's do 3 cards for right now. Okay. So immediately I see to sum it up in a sentence, we won't be able to grow and to work with other people if we're doing it with just our own best interest in mind. It has to come from a collective force or a collective motivation, or it has to go towards something bigger than oneself. It has to go in a way that benefits many. And I think that makes sense with like a highest path type reading, is that it can't be like your victories shouldn't be selfishly derived. They shouldn't be at the expense of others. And you may win, but you will not have the people around you that can actually support you in this dream. It's all about collaboration. It's all about letting others in and putting your own ego, your own wants, your own needs aside in order for you to gain the goals, to achieve the goals that you want to. And the strength card coming after, I almost feel like this is what you are taming. Like right now you are the beast and you need to become the woman who's taming the beast. Become understanding that there is kind of this wild hunger inside of us that makes us impulsive or makes us judgmental or makes us compare, and it really cannot be about that. This is all about sharing ideas, sharing in the work and in the purpose of what you're doing. Let me pull an archetype card to support this. Give us a little bit more information. I love these archetype cards, but they're ginormous for my little hands. Doing a riffle shuffle is like nearly impossible. Let me try though. Oh, barely. Barely. Okay. Archetype cards are all about the light and the shadow. What's an archetype we can be aware of. Oh, wow. I had my eyes closed for that, so I just like heard something. And then, boom, God. All right. Wow. This couldn't be more perfect. I just got like really emotional, actually. So the light attributes of the God archetype. Benevolence and compassion, recognizing the eternal force within yourself and others. And shadow attributes of the God archetype are despotism and cruelty, using power to control people. So this is the shadow of this, and this is the light of this. And this is what we'll miss out on if we go towards our shadow side, if we go towards using other people for our own benefit, and even just to cut them down so we feel better about ourselves. Like, that's just not the way through this. Wow. And having compassion, recognizing the eternal force within yourself and others. That is saying like that we are all 100% worthy of pushing towards our goals, our dreams, and as a collective, we can bring so much more light into the world. Using this God archetype as a way to control others in order to make ourselves feel temporarily safe, whatever it is. Yeah. Wow. That's really powerful. And I think that's so, I just got goosebumps. It's so true. Our highest path is not going to come from cutting others down. And if we do that, we won't have the opportunity for all of us to contribute what we can individually in order to make the whole better. It's about collaboration. And this being upside down says, with this, there's no collaboration. With this, there's no teamwork. With this, there's no growth, benefit, or development of something bigger than you. Wow. Goosies, goosies, goosies. So many goosebumps. I'm gonna leave it there at that. Wow. I really hope this helps you connect to that path of higher self, higher thinking, being above your desires, being above your own agenda, letting go of all that so you have a chance to experience real strength in taming that part of you that feels so protective and impulsive. And I think really, really big things are going to happen for so many of us in 2020. So, thank you so much for watching my very first video. I am really excited to keep doing this. Yeah, I don't know what to say yet because I'm figuring this out as I go. And yeah, subscribe, of course. I'm not doing individual readings yet. I thought I'd start with this just to get more and more comfortable with being on camera and speaking. And yeah, because I've done plenty of readings one-on-one with people, and it's nice because you can have a conversation back and forth. But with this, it's a little different. I had to really get in and channel kind of this sense, this place of presence in order to let the emotions reflect from the cards back onto me and vice versa. So I hope it was helpful. Thank you so much for stopping by. Subscribe and look for my next video. Bye-bye.